There are many lessons to learn about being a conformist or nonconformist from the life of Lamech. The brief autobiography of Lamech in Genesis 4:19-24 reveals an accurate picture of his character. The seventh male from Adam in the lineage of Cain bore similar resemblance in rebellion to his predecessor Cain. His total disregard for God's law is evident from his haughty statement recorded in Genesis of being nonconforming, militant, and self-governing. Lamech was the first man recorded in biblical history to commit polygamy. There is no doubt that the rebellious character of Cain manifested itself in Lamech's philosophy of life, only he went one step further. In the beginning, it was God's intention for man to have one wife, but Lamech wanted to demonstrate his power by being uncooperative with God's initial plan. When a man has more than one wife, he is not conforming to God's law. It sends a message that God cannot tell him how to live his life. Lamech had 2 wives, but in today's society men might not be committing legal polygamy, yet having multiple partners is the same. Similar to Lamech, they are being nonconformist. In addition to being nonconforming to God's laws, Lamech was also militant. One of his trades was metalwork, which would imply that he not only made agricultural tools but also weapons as security for his militant leanings. According to his speech, he did not have any regard for human life. A man like Lamech who does not put his trust in God will have to put his trust in weapons. Men who use weapons as a means of self-defense have the same mindset as Lamech. If men would put their trust in God and not in their guns or knives, there would not be a need to build more prisons. A man who wants to be free to use a weapon will ultimately not be free, but incarcerated and told when he may eat, go to bed, shower, use the phone, wake up, or exercise. A man who feels free to do and say anything is self-governing, and that is what Lamech was. His independence meant not having to obey God's laws and being free to do whatever he wanted. God said, "Thou shalt not kill," but Lamech determined that if anyone hurt him he was going to take vengeance and more. God said, "Thou shalt not commit adultery," but Lamech insolently retained 2 wives. God said, "Thou shalt have no other gods before me," but Lamech made himself a god. His attitude meant that God was not the king of his life. If God is not king of your life, then you are your own master. That is the same as taking the place of God. Unfortunately, Lamech's philosophy resulted in the earth being destroyed with a flood. The earth was filled with violence. Today, the earth is filled with men like Lamech, but if they will conform to God's law, live peacefully, and depend on God, their end will not have to be like Lamech's or his descendants. Allow God to be king of your life today, and you will be free to enter his eternal kingdom. The God of my rock, in him will I trust, he is my shield, and the horn of my salvation, my high tower, and my refuge, my Saviour, thou savest me from violence. 2 Samuel 22 verse 3.